Stitch mad. Stitch hate live action remake. Why my movie get live action remake? I only stick with my own movie or a better Disney movies, including Walt Disney Animation Studios movies, Pixar movies, and live action remake that Frozen Wish Studios like. Stitch want to see Frozen West Studios around on my live action remake, my fake self. Okay, animated Stitch, I will most certainly destroy your shitty fake remake. Oh, well, for every good live action remake like Snow White, of course, the bad live action remakes come back to bite. Hey guys, this is Frozen Wish Stews here, and welcome back to another video. And today I am going to be doing a rant on the live action Lilo and Stitch remake. Oh boy, this is gonna be something. So Lilo and Stitch, the remake, is the live action remake of the 2002 fan favorite classic Lilo and Stitch, and this one is being directed by Dean Fleischer Camp, the same director as Marcel the Shell with Shoes on, which I'll mention a movie later. And yeah, it is the second live action remake of 2025, with the first being Snow White, and it stars Maya Kealoha, Sidney Agudong, Chris Sanders, Zach Galifianakis, Billy Magnussen, Courtney B. Vance, Amy Hill, Tiara Carey, Hannah Waddingham, Jason Scott Lee, etc. And so the film tells the story. It's basically the exact same story as the original film, all over again. But I mean, for those pussies who need a summary of the original, okay, I will say this though. But I will summarize this based on the remake itself. So yeah, so Jumba Hasio created an experiment 626, created for the purpose of destroying things and just being evil. Stitch, but then Stitch mounts an escape. Well, Stitch's experiment to 626, by the way. So Stitch escapes to Earth, and but then he lands on the island. They were expecting Stitch to land in the water, so that he can be exiled forever and just die. But then Stitch ended up getting on the island. So both Jumba and Blakely are hired to find the Stitch and bring him back to the planet. While on Earth, Stitch meets a girl named Lilo, a young girl named Lilo, who is struggling with her life. As the only person who takes care of her is her older sister Nani, who is also trying to go through some things, but having to take care of Lilo is holding her back. So Lilo then meets Stitch at a pet store, and Lilo eventually becomes friends with Stitch. But then Stitch must dodge the bullets, that is Jumbo and Pleakley. Yeah, it's just the same as the original. So yeah, now those who know me so well know that I have a love and hate relationship with the live action remakes. Like there are a handful of live action remakes that I like. I y'all know that I am probably the only person who liked the Snow White remake. I think it is the best live action remake in years. And also, you also got the Jungle Book live action remake, which I I actually plan to rewatch it at some point, because I am thinking of putting that back as my favorite live action remake on reflection. And I will say though, the Jungle Book is actually the most highly praised live action remake, and I think it absolutely deserves the praise it gets. Yeah, because the Jungle Book remake is really good, and that is exactly how you do a live action remake. Cinderella, although it's not my cup of tea, because I think it is kind of boring and forgettable, I will say that I acknowledge that it is a good remake on Cinderella. It just cannot manage to be a good movie on its own. But one day, I will give the Cinderella remake a chance. I'm also a fan of Christopher Robin. It's my 2018. It's my favorite Pooh movie. And yeah, and the Aladdin remake is actually passable. The more I think about it, I will say this: I actually think that yes, like what I said, I will give the Aladdin remake a pass, even though it's still overrated and it's still overrated because of the fact that people say it's the better Disney movie of 2019 than Frozen 2, which is bullshit. But there are things that I really admire about that Aladdin remake. But then you got the bad live action remakes. Like 101 Dalmatians and 102 Dalmatians. Yeah, probably my most 101 Dalmatians 1996 is probably the most overrated Disney live action remake to me. Just because it's the first live action Disney remake, it doesn't mean it's one of the best. And what else? Oh yeah, Tim Burton's Alice in Wonderland, Beauty and the Beast. Although I defend Emma Watson's performance as Belle, I cannot say the same for the other things about the movie. Oh well, besides a few other things like Luke Evans as Gaston and other stuff. And then you got the hodgepodge of live action remakes in 2019, except for Aladdin. Like Dumbo live action remake, Lady and the Tramp live action remake, the Lion King remake. Oh, and also the Maleficent duology as well. And then you got the most disappointing live action remake, the live action Mulan remake. And then I like Cruella, so I'll say that I think Cruella is one of the is among the best Disney live action remakes, if you can call it that. And then you got the shitty Disney Plus live action remakes like Pinocchio and Peter Pan and Wendy, which are some of the absolute shittiest live action remakes ever. And then you got Mufasa the Lion King, which is my worst live action remake ever. Fuck Mufasa the Lion King. So yeah, now with this Lilo and Stitch remake, this was originally supposed to be a straight to Disney Plus live action remake with director John M. Chu directing this. And I will say still, I'm glad that John M. Chu chose to ditch this movie for the masterpiece that is Wicked. So there's that. And I know that people were anticipating this movie to be the best live action remake, and that's mainly because the original Lilo and Stitch movie is just holds so dear to their heart. And Stitch is Stitch is probably the second most iconic Disney character ever, second only behind Mickey Mouse himself. Some people even view Stitch as like the real Disney Jesus over Mickey Mouse, but I still think Mickey Mouse is Disney Jesus. There is no denying that. But but yeah, I'm actually if I were to give a title for a second Disney Jesus, well, it's Star from Wish because he's Star. He's like the freaking mascot of Disney. I mean, like that's why you see a star in the Disney logo. A wish is meant to be an origin story of how the star came to be. So yeah, now yeah. Also, but another reason, but the main reason why Lilo and Stitch is was highly anticipated by fans is because of how Stitch in this actually looks like the animated Stitch. So well, that's something. But as for me personally, I was never on board with this movie, simply due to the fact that this was supposed to be a live action remake that was meant to go straight to Disney Plus. That they ended up putting in theaters because I guess Stitch is profitable and they would already make money. and yeah, the trailer did not have me sold. I mean, it was so obvious, and there were like so much red flags. But people were in denial of this. So they were all saying that, oh, but this looks so perfect. It looks so good. And some people even only were anticipating this movie just to spite Snow White because because of the fact that Lilo Stitch doesn't have an A-list celebrity. There, well, I guess besides Zach and Billy, I guess, but no, as in like there's no attractive actress, like Rachel Zegler. I mean, that's why people were excited for it because there's no like celebrity. I even saw reviews saying comments saying that the biggest praise of this film is having more unknown actresses in this, with a few well-known actors too, but no overly attractive one like Rachel Zegler and Gal Gadot and Snow White. But yeah, and also I should mention that there is this toxic Lilo and Stitch fangirl, Zigzag Sabrina, whatever the fuck you wanna call her, Disney Girl 2004. But I'm still gonna call the user Mama Lana Bunny because that user is just Mama Lana Bunny, but just with a brand new username. Yeah, so Zigzag the Disney Girl, yeah, whatever the fuck I'm gonna call it. She has been attacking me and been cyberbullying me just because of me boycotting this remake. And even boycotted the Final Reckoning just because I hate this. And yeah, she's tied with Aiden as the worst user in existence. And yeah, I'm sorry. And to you, Mama Lana Bunny, I got something to say. Fuck you. I mean, seriously, fuck you. So yeah, just you know, Mama Lana Bunny alone is actually the reason on why I actually dread this remake even more. Maybe I would have been less harsh on this remake if only Mama Lana Bunny wasn't so fucking toxic. But yeah, I have never seen anyone so toxic towards a movie than Mama Lana Bunny just defending this remake. Well, I'm sorry, she needs fucking help. She needs fucking help. But anyways, yeah. And of course, yeah. Speaking of the Final Reckoning, yeah, you got the Barbenheimer of the year. Well, as what some people say, with this and Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning, as people would call it, Stitch Possible. But yeah. First thing I want to say about this remake, yeah, Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning is the clear winner. Because yeah, I saw Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning in theaters. I'm gonna be seeing it again this week. Probably Wednesday, and then yeah, Lilo and Stitch. I did not give my money to this. Of course, I still watched it because I had to watch it. That's my job as a critic to, well, not paid job, but still it's important for a critic to also watch bad movies. But yeah, so after seeing the Lilo and Stitch remake for myself, I saw this movie online, by the way, and it was actually at least it was easy to access online. So there's that. But yeah, but with all the praise that this gets, I was prepared to call this the most overrated Disney movie of all time, like in general, and that was especially the case for the early reactions who call this the best live action remake ever. But thank God the actual reviews were not as generous as I feared, as there is a massive hate base for this film, despite the overall rating being high. It's the Beauty and the Beast remake reviews all over again, and it's probably the most divisive movie of the year so far. But I gotta say, after watching this movie for myself, yeah, I'm with the hate base on this one. Lilo and Stitch sucks. Look, I tried my best to watch this with an open mind, but this turned out to be a lot worse than I expected. This is just another Disney live action remake that falls into similar traps with the other live action remakes. But this is an irredeemable disaster. No, it's not a 0 out of 5. So don't worry, guys. I am not going to go for. Okay, before I get into details on what I like and didn't like about this, I just want to address the fan base of Little Stitch. Yeah, I already know Mama Donna Bunny is gonna cyberbully me for this rant, and no matter what, and I am prepared for that. I don't give a shit. Heck, I even said some things just to get her attention. Said some things that I don't want to talk about in this review, but I'm gonna say, if you come into this rant just to cyberbully me for hating this, if you give out any hate comments, I'm gonna delete your comment, block you, and report you. So I'm warning you. But if you disagree with me on this and you actually don't want to be a victim of me just punishing you, then just say I respect your opinion, or I can handle your opinion, whatever the fuck you want to say. But just please respect my opinion, and then I will keep your comments. I made sure I actually did keep my comments, keep the hate comments in my Dogman rant. Drop something, but the reason why I did not delete a lot, most of, I only deleted some of the hate comments in my Dogman rants, but the only reason I kept it is because Pajak's perspective, he was defending me in the reply section, so that's why I just wanted to keep his comments defending me. So, and by the way, shout out to Ollie for defending me in the Dogman rant. But yeah, so yeah, just be nice to me, just respect my opinions, and okay. But and by the way, yes, I'm okay. Yeah, let's move on. So yeah, now if there's one thing I agree with the supporters of this remake on, it's that the CGI of Stitch was actually pretty good. Now it's not hard to dislike the design because at least you can feel that the CGI was the work of actual humans and they tried the best they can. I also liked hearing Chris Sanders voicing Stitch again. Yeah, I don't get me wrong. I don't love the CGI design of Stitch, but I don't think it's hard to say that Stitch's design looks like shit. So there's that. The space design, as well as the design of the ship in the beginning, looks good, but I think it did feel disappointing to me because because of how rushed the scene was. I didn't have time to grasp on that good visuals. So and like literally, in the original film, the space station scene lasted for 10 minutes, and this one was only under 5 minutes. How? Like the original Little Stitch remake is short, is way shorter, but then the opening scene is shorter in the remake. That just yeah. But the biggest redeeming quality in the film is Maya Keloha as Lilo. Hands down, she is the best character of the film, and the character who was most faithfully adapted into the adapted from the original animated counterpart, even more than Stitch. So yeah, Lilo is hands down the best character in the film. But that's where the positives ends. Now let's get into what I hated about the film. So yeah, we should jump right into my biggest problem in the movie. Is that it is so cheap looking, especially with the production value of the film. It was so obvious that this was meant to be a Disney Plus original movie, but then was only thrown in theaters for profit. I guess Stitch is a profitable character, so people would just give their money for anything Stitch related. The production design of Hawaii looks so unappealing, unlike in the animated film. And even though I like Stitch design, yeah, it is. I still think that you can still feel the Disney Plus straight to Disney Plus vibe in it. Yes, his design is not something I would look at on the big screen, just on a small screen, whether laptop or just home TV. So yeah, the tone in this movie was less mature and more childish than the original. Yeah. The original movie was very mature. It was for everyone because it not only did it have things for kids in it, but it had something that adults can relate to as well. But this movie is just for kids, and I mean kids only. I think adults will suffer through this. And I know you guys are gonna be like, oh, but Frozen, it's just a kids film. It's not made for you. Like I hate the kids movie defenders who think that adult critics should not have an opinion on a kids movie because they should let kids watch it. But we shouldn't let the bad kids movies that only care about being for kids and not having any effort put into it just plague Hollywood. Yeah. Oh, and let's not mention this movie has jokes that are illumination level bad, like fart jokes in this one. Like there was a scene in the film where Stitch farted in a fruit punch at a party that he crashed. Just wow. Oh, and a lot of major heavy lifting moments from the original film is reduced to this to reduced to play itself more safe. Yeah, this is such a safe movie. For example, in the original, when how Lilo beat up Myrtle, like that scene was violent, but in a good way because that movie actually was not afraid to show violence. But in this film, the best that Lilo could do is push Myrtle off the stage. Yeah, because this movie tries to hold back its violence just to be a kids film. Just wow. And yeah, the movie makes so much unforgivable decisions, unforgivable changes from the original that just clearly misses the point of this. Just like a Pinocchio remake, yeah, it is. The decisions are almost as bad as that Robert Zemeckis Pinocchio remake. For example, the scene with Lilo reading the Ugly Duckling book from to Stitch, they removed that moment. That book was what motivated Stitch to learn the true meaning of family. Yeah, so now Stitch learns about family just by how I don't give a fuck. Oh, and also Lilo doesn't teach Stitch about Elvis Presley, but Stitch somehow discovers that already knows Elvis on his own. How? Like seriously? So now Elvis Presley in this one is just a random reference that doesn't contribute anything to the story. Like Elvis Presley and the original is Elvis Presley. The original was it served a purpose to the story. Like one of them being Lilo's hyperfixation for it, and Lilo was autistic in the original. I mean, a lot of people have suspected that, but in this one, like her autism is gone. I mean, like she doesn't feel autistic anymore. She just now becomes a normal person. That is oh well, whatever. Moving on. We all know about the infamous Captain Gantu absence. That report that Captain Gantu was not going to be in this one has turned some fans away from this film. But you want to know how they handled the climax despite Captain Gantu's absence? Yup, make Jumba the main villain of the film. He doesn't even fit the role of the main villain. That's not his character. Jumba is supposed to be a character who redeemed himself because like he learned to accept who Stitch ended up being because Jumba was a villain in the beginning because he created Stitch as a destroying machine, but then as Jumba was spying on Stitch, he changed his ways, and at first he was pissed off at it, and he thinks that oh Stitch is being manipulative, but then he learned to accept it, but yeah, I mean Jumba's as the main villain, like it just doesn't fit. And yeah, and my goodness, people say Captain Gantu was useless, which is why he was not in this one. No, he was useful. You are just drunk or something. So yeah, Cap Jumba is the worst character in the film, hands down. Oh, and his CGI design, as well as plating design as well. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, awful design. Like they may have gotten Stitch's character design right, but that is like the only good thing about this movie visually. Everything else looked like shit, man. Like seriously, did the artists just not even try? Like it feels like a different group of artists made Jumba Blakely from the ones who made Stitch. So yeah. Oh yeah, Zach Galifianakis was a huge miscast as Jumba, I know. I read a few reviews like defending that, saying, "Oh, but don't you want to see Zach play a different kind of character? I mean, he's never played a villain before, bro. He voiced Joker in the Lego Batman movie. I mean, that's very good enough for a villain role of him. Yeah, Billy Magnuson, sure, he had one of the more tolerable performances, but he played an insufferable Bleakley. So much so that it's hard to look past and appreciate the attempt of him making an effort. I mean, Billy's performance. Bleakley is the Jar Jar Binks of Disney live action remakes. Well, besides Zazu from the Lion King remake. Good God, he is just so annoying. Ugh. And his design looks like Mike Wazowski, while Jumba's CGI design in this looks like Mr. Water News. Oh, and also the cinematography, it looks like you shit as well. In the house, like in that the house scene when Jumba like and slowly opened the door, entering the house. The way he was shot, like the angle they chose for that. Oh my goodness! I'm sorry, but that cinematographer deserves to get fired for that horrendous cinematography. One of the worst cinematographies I have ever seen. Like, oh, and also another character that they did so incredibly dirty in this one um, is Cobra Bubbles. There is an insanely stupid twist that Cobra Bubbles is apparently a fake social worker, and the only reason he was agreed to be the assistant social worker for Little Nani is to freaking look after Stitch, and that he's a CIA agent who's like meant to hunt down Stitch. So he apparently got a job as a social worker to to watch over them and how they handle Stitch. That is so fucking stupid. Oh, and yeah, there is an actual social worker in the film who replaces the role of Cobra Bubbles. And she has no personality. Oh, and yes, that new social worker is a woman. I don't mind that the idea of making a female social worker, that's normal. Like, my counselor is a woman, my school counselor, so yeah. But at least give her a personality or don't include her at all. It's that simple. But the character that they fucking butcher the most, besides Jumba Cobra Bubbles, is Nani. And you know what? Nani and Jumba are tied as the worst characters in the film. This is nothing like Nani at all. Like, I don't even see Nani in this one. Like, there are instances while I'm watching the film that I don't see her as Nani. I don't see Nani in this actress. I mean, I forget that she is Nani. She's now not, but Nani in this one is now turned into this careless Gen Z teen who's always distracted by her phone and doesn't give a shit when Lilo shows Nani her new discoveries. Sydney Agutong gives the worst performance of the film. Her performance is as bad as some of the worst Disney Channel sitcoms. And her performance, it doesn't feel like she knows what movie she's in. Yeah, watch out, Nico Parker from Astrid. Looks like you have some competition for the worst actress performance of the year. And yes, Cindy Agatong is now my top five, maybe even top three worst actresses of all time. The sisterhood chemistry between Lilo and Nani is weak, and then they part ways at the end. What the fuck? Yeah, that ending is fuck that ending. Okay, you know what? I'll admit, maybe the ending isn't as bad as I thought on reflection. When I first watched this movie for the first time, I called the ending the worst scene in the film. But actually, yeah, there are some worse scenes in the film, like the house attack scene, and also that scene with Stitch crashing at the party. But that ending, it it made me hate the movie even more than I originally did. Little Nani's separation just feels like it's breaking their relationship, and then the movie would tell audiences, well, the audiences don't hate the ending. We got it. We know what we're doing. Trust us. Yeah, it is so manipulative, and it's trying to force people to like this remake. That's another problem with this. It is so manipulative. Like it's trying to force people to like this remake, but it's trying to hide the fact that it's actually effortless. So the only thing they need to put effort on is to make Stitch look good. And then people will automatically give this a pass. That's why I gave this a rant, the title that you're seeing, because it's so obvious that people like this movie is just trying to make people like it. Like it's like a test or something like that. And yes, I get that Nani is going to college to study marine biology, but she should have gone to the college in Hawaii, not move away to the U.S. Like the movie even mentioned that the Hawaii college also offered marine biology. Like seriously, can't Nani just stay around? I mean, for me, I went to college in my respective in my respective country and not move away. Why? So that I can be with my family. Also because it was easier to apply for a college in my country. So yeah. Oh, and also another major change in the film that feels unforgivable is how Stitch stays as a puppy throughout the film and never shows Little his true alien form for once. Why? And we didn't even get that heart-wrenching moment of Lilo being heartbroken when Jumba reveals that Stitch only went with Lilo to hide from him completely, meaning Lilo and Stitch have a near-perfect relationship and no other problem other than Lilo scolding Stitch for destroying things. And yeah, there's another thing that makes this movie feel much safer than the original is how the guns in this movie are just there to open a portal. They don't actually shoot. Like, why? Another case of this movie being way too afraid of violence. Wow. Yeah. Oh, and the last point I want to make is that the movie tries to kill off Stitch and to force an emotional moment. Wait, an emotional weight, but we all know that he's not really dead. Really, that is just a copy of Lilo and Stitch 2's ending. So overall, Lilo and Stitch 2025 is yet another soulless Disney live action remake that only exists because of how much of an icon Stitch is. So although the adaptation of the title characters, both Lilo and Stitch, were pretty good, it doesn't make up for the rest of the film being a cheap, straight to Disney Plus flick that did not try to be to feel theatrical. All the supporting characters were butchered up, the changes were a disgrace, and it feels even more childish than the original. I'm glad that there are haters for the film, but let's be real, the only reason a lot of people support this remake is because either the original holds so dear to the hearts that they're afraid to criticize this remake, or to simply spite the Snow White live action remake. Well, at the very least, I don't think it's one of the worst live action remakes. I would put this in my top 10 favorite, the top 10 worst Disney live action remakes of all time, honestly. But keep in mind that there are only 5 live action remakes that I would give a zero stars to. So yeah, and yeah, surely there will be worse remakes out there, especially the next live action remake, the Moana live action remake. So yeah, so with that said, guys, I'm going to give the live action Lilo and Stitch remake 1 star out of 5. Awful movie. So yeah, the next movie that I'm gonna try and give a chance to is the live action Hercules remake. I don't know if the live action Hercules remake will be good or not, but I think I will watch the live action Hercules remake in theaters. I'm also looking forward to the Tangled remake too, and the Frozen remake has potential to be the best live action remake ever if it happens. So at least I'm not completely biased against live action remakes. I think live action remakes in general, they're just a mixed bag. So also for my rant on the Lilo and Stitch live action remake, what are your thoughts on the film? Who agrees with me that this remake sucks, or do you like this remake? Comment down below, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and stay tuned for more videos to come. So yeah, bye guys.